On today's episode, what are we doing? We're making this Toyota awesome. So check it out. Hey guys, welcome back to Project Ghost Tundra. If you haven't seen my last video on it, it is a Toyota Tundra ride-on from Big Toys Direct that we have been using and abusing and beating up. And this thing has handled pretty much everything we've thrown at it so far, with the exception of we haven't tried it out on the snow, but might be a real possibility because we got snow in the middle of April. Almost 8 inches of snow over a period of 24 hours, which was quite interesting, and now it's all melting. But anyhow, we're gonna get started on this project. I'm gonna throw the other video up top in the corner for you guys to check out if you want to see the build on it when we put it together and the review, unboxing, and so on. But so far, this thing has been awesome, and we are gonna make it even more awesome. Basically, the first thing that I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna take the seat out and I'm gonna take this back cover off and try to figure out how exactly I'm mounting these speakers. And it comes with a bar clamp type of deal on it, which we're not gonna be using. We're only gonna be using the nut mount. And I don't know if I'm going into the side of the bed yet, or I'm going into that piece on the bottom here. So I'll try to figure that out as I go and see how much room I got and how stable it's going to be if I do that. And the next thing is going to be running all the wiring, mounting up the amp, and doing a test run. So I have pretty much everything taken apart that I need. I got the grill out, the bumper, the skid plate, the headlights are out, the hood is off, steering wheel's off, windshield's off, and everything is held together by these little Phillips screws. So basically just taking them out as I go. Grill was held in here, headlights were held in from the inside. Now, so the first thing that I'm going to do, obviously I need to figure out the location where I'm mounting this stuff and start getting that mounted up. I know that I'm running my volume probably somewhere over here. I might actually even use one of these auxiliary switch port covers or whatever. There's I guess other models have some sort of switches for that. I don't, so I might do off-road lighting switch in this one and volume knob in this. Amplifier, I'm probably gonna end up mounting somewhere inside here with the rest of the electronics because we're not worried about this amp. We don't need access to it, so there's no buttons on it or anything. So all the connections and everything will be done here, and all you'll see is the speakers and the knob. Here is what's going on so far. So I was able to use, it has like this channel underneath where the wires run right here. I was able to use that channel to run my volume control through the factory hole basically. And I decided that I'm doing the volume control right on the head unit, right through here. I had to take off this cover plate. And then I got my speakers wired up. Everything is pretty much plug in and play with this little setup. This extra wire, I'm gonna be using this to interrupt it for a switch, probably somewhere here, somewhere where I could get to it, or somewhere hidden so I could turn it on or turn it off when I please. And she's going to be able to have volume control, but I'm also able to have volume control through my phone once my phone is hooked up to the amplifier through Bluetooth. Here's the mounting location that I came up with. I angled them slightly upward. I think it kind of looks cool. So I went right through the bed here. Inside I put nuts and washers on it, and yeah, these things are solid in here. So let's see what it sounds like. Actually sounds pretty damn good. Here's the ultimate test to see if it passes. Look at that. The ball still fits in here, so she'll be able to take it, and she'll probably even still be able to fit her backpack in here and some other crap. But yeah, I think that looks awesome. I don't know if I want to angle them up anymore. I think they look pretty good as it is right now. Alright, so I'm going to button all this up. I still have to pick up a switch, so I'll do that today. I'll probably find some sort of a decent switch to put somewhere where she can't get to interrupt this wire. Everything the way that I wired up, basically across both batteries. I got my power wire to the sound system going into this right here. I put a new spade connector on it with shrink wrap, and my grounding is on the other battery, so it's going across both batteries. Other than that, all this wire is going to get zip tied up out of the way. And then I still have this input jack, which I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I think I might. What I'll do is I'll drill a small hole and I'll have it sit in the bed so I could throw my phone or something in the back of the bed and be able to use that as far as like maybe hooking up an MP3 player or something and throwing it in the back. Alright, so the next step that I'm doing right here is I'm installing this 10-inch light bar, this LED light bar. The same one as the Jeep one that we got on here, and then we got a couple of smaller ones up front here. So I'm doing the same thing, but I'm trying to fit it inside this grill in this open space right here. So this is where my light bar is going to go for that. So I need to Dremel this out, cut out the grill with a Dremel, and basically this light bar sits pretty flush in here. Gonna mount using the supplied brackets, which works out perfect. It doesn't stick out too much, but you can still see that it's there, which is kind of nice. And I still have kind of a little bit of adjustability in there too, to point it down if I need to. Other than that, this looks pretty sweet. Now the only thing is, the body itself here, I'm gonna have to Dremel that up a little bit. I'll just mark it here with a Sharpie and give it a nice cut in there, and that's how I'll be able to fit my light bar. Now the other thing we're obviously like painting and doing the headlight stuff with it. I want to put some legit lights in here, paint this up so this looks kind of cool, and then we're getting rid of this chrome too, so I'm going to be working on that. So let me get this cut up and I'll start working on figuring out the coloring that we're doing here, because I don't like the chrome. Obviously Toyota comes with chrome standard, and if you like chrome, this is it for you. But for me, I think I'm gonna do either body color, which we're doing a wrap, which might be wrapping this, or I am gonna do anthracite gray on here and see how that looks, because I'm in love with that anthracite gray color, which will match our theme. Alright guys, so I got the grill all painted up and I got the light bar installed. So I ended up doing anthracite gray on here. This is a Plasti Dip product, and Plasti Dip is actually one of the few things that sticks to this plastic. So and it's pretty durable, so I decided to use Plasti Dip on here. Anthracite gray is the name of the color. And I also did the Toyota insert. I still got to do these little O's in black. I'll do that with a brush, probably just touch it up. But I think I am really digging the matte, and I'm really digging the way that came out. That is actually a really great color. That's actually a color that I was going to do on my truck. This bumper is probably going to get the same treatment. I'm not going to do a light bar in here because it's not going to fit. I think 2 light bars is going to be too much. I got the headlights all painted up. Those projector LEDs will actually get cleaned up a little bit more. Since this is Plasti Dip, I just sprayed over, and I'll peel them once it's completely dry. So I did the anthracite gray inside, and I did white on the trim, and I think it's gonna look pretty freaking awesome with this grill. All right, so after messing with them for literally like half an hour, I decided that I was gonna make these LED strips in here to kind of do like the Toyota type of deal that the Tundra has. And that was a pain, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of like, so I have these DRLs, whatever they're called, like the flexible LED, but they're way too big to go in there. So I pulled the strip out and I was trying to solder this guy up, and literally the soldering points are so tiny that it's so hard to like get it to solder up. But finally did it, and I got one done. I got one more to go, and this is how it's gonna look, because I'm definitely digging this whole and they kind of look pretty decent when they're not on either. So you can see in there, this is the vinyl that I'm using. It is a digital, or not a digital, I'm sorry, it's a it is a snow camo vinyl. And I gotta say, this took me probably a half an hour to wrap, because there's so many edges and corners, and the way that it is, it's just, yeah. I want to say 4.5 hours later, I have the wrap done. This was definitely a little project that took a little longer than I expected, but I think it came out awesome. So the headlights are in, and I got basically the Toyota setup. I got the bumper on. This is all dipped already, as you saw the grill. What else we got? So I also did the badging. I took the badges off and I dipped them, and then I put them on. I did the same thing for this. And then if we go further out, I also changed the look of the taillights. The orange pieces that I wasn't fond of. And I soldered up my own little LED panels using this type of LEDs that I basically just cut and soldered up together, and there you go. They look awesome in there. It actually kind of gives it a cooler look with the way the taillights are now. The rear bumper is also dipped. It's ready to get mounted up. I did the eagle eye LEDs and the fog lights as well, so those have to be hooked up. We're also installing like little pods like this up on the hood. So those are gonna go in. I have to make room for them down here, because the way that they're gonna mount, I'm not too crazy about this whole area here. I don't know exactly which location, so I have to figure that out before I finish up buttoning everything up and do the wiring for all of these, hook it up to a switch. Also,
we're gonna be removing the wheels, and I'm gonna be painting these wheels black. So I got the wheels all painted up, and basically what I'm doing is using these little stud type of screws that I'm installing here, pre-drilling the holes and just putting them in to make it look like lug nuts. Alright guys, so we are done. We are done with this project for now, and everything's off right now. But so here is what I ended up doing. I ended up getting a toggle switch just for the off-road lights that could be turned on even with the truck off. So it's directly wired to the battery. It's not through the actual truck itself. It's straight to the battery on a switch, just like the sound system. And then I put a switch in here that's to power up the amplifier. And that's what turns on the sound system. And then I also drilled a small hole right here in the back if I want to use the input jack. Now, as far as the speaker to that, I ended up disconnecting it so it's not having that clattered out startup sound every time the truck starts up. But the back, here's the back, the LEDs. So these are, like I said, I soldered them up and I just hot glued them in there. I think they look awesome, the fact that they're both red. And I also painted the reflector black, so it kind of gives it that tinted effect. As far as the front goes, the fog lights are wired up with the headlights directly, and they actually put out a good amount of light, which is really good. So here you go guys, the video is done for Ghost Toyota. Thank you for watching the mini-series. I do want to go back on the batteries on this and say how shocked I am at how great these batteries are lasting. We were out, actually prior to me starting to do all the modifications in the wrap, we were out driving this thing around for an hour or so, or maybe even longer, and then when I was doing the wrap, after I installed the sound system, actually was listening to music on it the whole time, and I haven't charged it since. We took it out yesterday for like 2 hours and the batteries are still going strong. So definitely surprised we even had the light bars on and everything, and the battery life on this is great. But I do want to thank you guys for watching my mini-series on Ghost Tundra here. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do for all things off-road and Project Arranges and things like that. I want to say thank you to Big Toys Direct for sending us this and making this project possible. And yeah, let me know in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Let me know what you think about Ghost Tundra here. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Later.